Hey everyone, Sky here to discuss 42, starring Chadwick Boseman, Harrison Ford, Nicole Beharie, Christopher Maloney, Andre Holland, Lucas Black, Hamish Linklater, and Ryan Merriman, and directed by Brian Helgeland. I don't know if I'm saying that right, please forgive me. And why am I doing this movie? Well, I'm going to do this, plus Get On Up, and Thurgood Marshall, for one reason. Chadwick Boseman, who passed away last week, or almost 2 weeks ago, maybe a week and a half, and I feel bad that I haven't reviewed his movies except for maybe Black Panther and the stuff that he's been doing before in Marvel Cinematic Universe. But may he rest in peace. Let's get into this movie. In 1945, all baseball players were white, and Branch Rickey, played by Harrison Ford, thinks about bringing an African American player on the Montreal Royals team, and Harrison Ford, with his rough New York accent, is beyond a wonderful performance. We meet the best African American baseball player named Jackie Robinson, played by Chadwick Boseman, getting to the base, and as a player throws the ball, makes it home safe, and Branch thinks about hiring Jackie to professional Major League Baseball, as he has a temper, and Branch hires Jackie if he's got the guts not to fight back. And he marries his lover Ray, or Rachel, and I really love Chadwick Boseman in this role, as his performance is tremendous in this movie. The racism was a big deal back then. For example, white only bathrooms and colored only bathrooms, and I for one believe in treating others the way you want to be treated, especially any race. Jackie begins spring training, and Branch tells the coach to treat him like the other players, or else he gets unemployed. The first game begins, and all the whites start booing at Jackie, while the African Americans cheer him on, and he gets thrown one ball, and after another, he gets to the three bases while the pitcher for the Brooklyn Dodgers gets distracted and drops the ball, and Jackie wins the game. And I really like how inspiring this movie really is for baseball fans, and I appreciate the courage Jackie Robinson had back in the day. In another town, Jackie gets abused by a white officer after scoring by getting back to the base, and Branch tells Jackie there's a place for him with the Royals team, and the movie is shot very well, particularly the baseball fields. This is a magnificent looking movie, as it's very inspiring. It's opening day of the season, and Ray feels sick and realizes while in the bathroom she's pregnant, and watches him hit a home run, and 8 months later he has a baby of his own, and tells the story of how his father left him as a child and says he'll be there for his child always. And this is good writing, despite this was a book before this was a movie. In Panama, 1947, some white players don't want to play with Jackie and sign a contract to keep him in Montreal, and the coach is pissed about the petition and tells them they will play with Jackie or else they lose their jobs. And these scenes, and the way the actors portrayed the scene, is good for race time, and their acting in these scenes is pretty good. Jackie signs a contract to join the Brooklyn Dodgers, and he's worried about the abuse he can handle by the white baseball players, and team number on the back of his uniform is 42, like the title of this movie. And the first game on the baseball season begins in 1947 against St. Louis, and called by the ref is after Jackie gets to the base and is called out again and again. I like the look of the baseball field being played and shot by the cinematography. The Phillies manager, who, as it turns out to be played by Alan Tudyk, heckles Jackie while playing the game, and Jackie wants to hurt him so badly, and Branch talks him out of it, and he gets back out there without beating the crap out of him, and Jackie is successful by hitting the ball and wins the game. And I enjoy Alan Tudyk's presence for what little he does in this movie. In Pittsburgh, the pitcher hits Jackie in the face with the ball, and everyone fights on the field as one of the players gets a death threat by a letter, and Branch is getting the same thing for Jackie. Jackie gets booed on the field, and one of the teammates shows who he is by socializing with him and accepting who Jackie really is, and the entire team accepts who he is as a person. For example, one of the people in the Cardinals team roughly steps on Jackie's foot on purpose to get him down. But he gets up, which is amazing, by the way. This scene works great. Branch explains why he hired Jackie to become the legendary ball player he is today. And he says he knew someone who was African American that played baseball with him years ago. And he couldn't help him. And the way Harrison Ford says the lines makes it great acting. Jackie becomes inspirational by winning more games than for the season, and everyone on the team wears 42 and retires the number of the uniform in 1997. And I really like this ending where everyone in the baseball game accepts Jackie Robinson as a ball player. Now it's time for the rating. I'll give this movie a 8.3 out of 10. This is an inspiring true story with great performances by Chadwick Boseman and Harrison Ford. I love the way the movie was shot, as it is magnificent, and I honestly forgot how really good the movie is. And Chadwick, great job on being Jackie Robinson. Great job. Let's hear it from him. So I will be back next week, and thank you guys for joining me. And again, I'll be back next week with the James Brown biopic, Get On Up. And until next time, rest in peace, Chadwick. Rest in peace.